Hello, everybody. How's it going out there? David with Night Politics with Lynch. Hope everyone's having a good day, a good week, and most importantly, having a good life. As of now, officially, we are totally out of Afghanistan. Our troops have been lifted. We still got a lot of guns and equipment there, and some Americans are still stranded. I'll give you started on that, which I will probably go to later anyway. We still got a lot of stuff we've left there behind, but we're out of Afghanistan in regards to the war. Now, a lot of people who have been critical of Biden, very anti-war people, are very happy with this move. They're glad we're out of there, and their excuses are saying that it wasn't the best, but it wasn't going to be good anyway. It wouldn't make anybody happy to begin with, and people will still find a way to fuss about. The media will still push the war and all this stuff. And I understand the argument, and to an extent, I think they're right. I think they're right to an extent that the way it was botched. It was a problem, and the media, who loves war and conflict and to push the military complex, would still be pushing it. Would still be pushing back on whether it was done perfectly clean or not. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think that's true to an extent. And as someone like me who's libertarian, I'm anti-war. I think we shouldn't be involved in many of the conflicts we're in. We shouldn't be involved in half the stuff we're in. Or frankly, we're still involved in these wars because we can flex our military muscle, which gives us leverage and international economic impact, right? So that's something that is part of the reason we do that, which is why our economy is not always the best or not handled the way it should be. But it's because of the military complex. We still have that influence in the world. We still have the power, and we're taken seriously from our countries. But that being said, the question is, are we really done with Afghanistan? 20 years out, it seems weird that we're not there. And like I said, in the day, I'm glad we're not there. I don't think we should be involved in the war. But the big criticism against Biden isn't the fact that he got out of Afghanistan. That's not the criticism by most of the American people. That criticism is done by the media and the military complex try to rile shit up to get clicks. That's what that's about. What the main complaint for people like me who's anti-war, who are still having an issue with this, is the way it was handled, the way it was bundled by the Biden administration. Now, predecessor President Trump actually had an agreement in place to be out by May. That was the deal, to be out in place, to make arrangements with the local people there, the government there, whatever, to get out by May. That was the plan. That was how we're supposed to get out. And if we would have stuck to that timeline, it would have been a lot smoother. Now, would it have been perfect? Would there have been some pushback? Would there have been some media issues? Would there have been some stories come up? Probably. That's be true. So all the people who are praising Biden for this do got a point to an extent for that. There would be some pushback. But ultimately, we would have gotten most of our weapons and guns. We would have gotten all of our transports and tanks and whatever we had there. We would have gotten all that out. Like Commons 101, I saw a meme saying that when you play Army as a kid, you just let the people have your stuff. So no, they didn't, because they're not stupid. Again, that stuff would have been there. Secondly, we could have gotten Americans out. Americans who were there, whether they're part of diplomats or some kind of relatives, or I don't know who's all there American-wise, Americans, but we could have got them out too. That could have been negotiated as well. But since it was bundled so badly and things fell so quickly, I think it gives the next administration, whatever that may be, Republican or Democrat, an excuse to go in and go to Afghanistan again, because they say we have unresolved business there, and they got our weapons, and there's Al Qaeda and the Taliban are fighting again. Taliban is doing this to women and all that. They're abusing women and doing all this stuff. It's like, look, it gives them fuel to go back in. That's my thing with this, because people see people like the bombings, the airports, for example. A lot of very young military personnel died because of this. I saw on Twitter today where a 17-year veteran of the military sent a resignation letter as of September 11th. They're resigning because they do not have faith in the current commander-in-chief. Biden, besides, we've been seeing his age, the dementia stuff. I'm not trying, again, when I say that, I'm not trying to make fun of him. I would make fun of anyone like that. But he should never be president. He should never be president. Every presser he has had in the last couple of weeks, ever since this whole thing happened, he's been late every time. He's had to come in from Delaware. I think he was meeting with a foreign leader or something recently. He was looking at his watch, he's falling asleep. I mean, he's not capable of doing this job. Biden should not be president right now. He needs to resign. He's so bad, and I know we're fucked because Kamala Harris is VP. We're fucked no matter what. Kamala Harris laughs at everything and thinks she can laugh and try to be pretty and cool to get out of the hard question. That's not working anymore, Kamala. So we're screwed. Either way, we're screwed. We're screwed for the next 3 years. Okay, that's all there is to it. But Biden would not be there anymore. He shouldn't be there. There's no reason why he should still be president at this point. But besides that, I mean, this was handled badly. He's trying to say it was a success by getting out, yes, but you left Americans there that are stranded in Afghanistan. Innocent people were killed over bombings in Afghanistan. If they would again stuck to the Trump deadline, followed it, honored their word, they wouldn't have been able to. Taliban wouldn't have been able to use the people around and say, "Wait a minute, they backed up on the word. We can't trust the West now. They backed up on their word." He pushed it back to September 11th for 20th anniversary, symbolic, political maneuvering bullshit. We should have been out long before May anyway, but May would have been a cleaner deadline. And he's the one to give Trump the victory. It's all was to it. Didn't want to give Trump a win. Didn't want to give Trump credit for Afghanistan withdrawal for getting us out of our longest war. That's why he didn't want to do that. And the Democrats didn't want to do that. And now they're paying for the consequences of it. They're getting criticized, and rightfully so. And I understand war hawks won't be there forever. I understand that. And for the record, stop having John Bolton on anything. Don't have John Bolton on CNN, Fox News. The man's a bloodthirsty, neocon, warmongering piece of shit, and he should not be advised on anything at all foreign relations. His answer is always more bombs, more war, more destruction. That's always his answer forever. Side note done. Point is, though, yeah, again, with the way this was handled, the way the withdrawal was done, weapons left behind, there's going to be more conflict, more Americans are going to be killed, there's going to be pressure by certain groups to get those people out, and there's going to be more excuses for the military complex to use this to get back into war again. So again, if it's done cleaner, there's less reason to go back to Afghanistan. They'll just push for something else. They'll push to go somewhere else. The military complex never stops, but at least you can't give them the leverage to use the media to get them to get back into the war. So that's my thoughts on that. Not very cohesive, I know, but a lot's happened a few weeks with this Afghanistan shit, and I'm just very frustrated. I feel bad for all the family members of people who are lost in Afghanistan, necessarily not just within the last 20 years, obviously throughout the entire span. They should have never been there, but especially with this debacle, particularly the attacks on the airports, the whole Taliban incidents, the Americans that are stuck there stranded because of the way this was handled. It was handled like dog shit. And that's the problem we have with it. So for everyone defending us, not the fact that we're out of the war. Most people, I think, are glad we're out of Afghanistan. It's the way it was done. And if it was done cleaner, the backlash would not be as much. It probably has some hardcore leftists, they probably have this on Twitter. We probably had this argument saying Trump got us out of the war, and then Democrats say Biden got us out of the war. And that's hey, like that, but then I can't freaking innocent people in a foreign country, in a Muslim-dominated fundamentalist country now, stuck there. So anyway, that's all I got for this one. Give me your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about this? Do you think we go back? I think as soon as we get a new regime, I think we go back. I think we're going to end up going back there. It's going to be another incident again. Trust me, if it had been handled cleaner, they wouldn't have been able to get back or try to push back as quickly to get in, or they would have just gone somewhere else. That's my 2 cents. That's all I got for this one. As always, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.